Hi everybody, welcome back. My name's Thomas Carlson from the Jersey City Art School. This is going to be part 2 of a multi-part series of free classes that are going to hopefully give you a better idea of how to draw and understand the human head. So in the first session, what we did was we really focused on working with just basic forms, some very simple understandings of how to size up the front of the skull, looking at the 5 eyes across, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, taking a look at the tennis ball size shape kind of in the mouth, whether that is more out or more in, depending on however you're looking at it. The eyes being in the center of the head is 1 head high and 1 head deep. And hopefully these are some bits of information that you can take with you. And then, of course, the zygomatic arch being about the shape of Texas there, and remembering that shape when you are drawing the side plane of the face. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some basic muscle groups on the face. So with muscles, you have 2 different types. You have flexors and you have extensors. So flexion is a really easy thing to remember because a fully flexed figure is a fetus, basically, somebody in a fetal position. So that's easy to remember. And then a fully extended figure is quite the opposite. So a muscle does the same thing no matter what. It takes 2 points and brings them closer together when the muscle is flexed. So flexion happens when the arm goes up, the hands go in, like this. That is flexion. So a bicep is a flexor, whereas the tricep on the other side is the extensor. So that moves everything out. So on a face, we're only going to look at 2 muscles, really. There are a lot of muscles on the face, but a lot of muscles are flat muscles. Some of them kind of sheet around the eyes, and then also have a bit of a sheet kind of going around the mouth. You have muscles in the front, the frontalis, which kind of pull the eyebrows up. We're going to talk a little bit about those, but the important ones that we see most often when we're drawing the model are the ones that operate our mouth, so that move our mandible around. So for starters here, you can follow along with me here on Procreate if you want. Otherwise, you could follow along in your sketchbook. You could follow along with charcoal or pencil, whatever you prefer. For starters on Procreate, I'm going to start by putting 2 different colors here. One that's lighter and one that's a little darker. And what that is going to be able to do is allow me to go back to those colors with the little eyedropper tool and be able to use one color for all my flexors and one color for all my extensors. So I'm going to use the acrylic, and I'm going to select this darker red and make sure I'm on a different layer. Okay, I'm on a different layer. And we're going to start with the lateral view of the head here. So that basically you've got a connection that goes all along the side of the skull here, and then it goes down and tucks underneath what we call the zygomatic arch, which we talked about last time. That's that bit that's the shape of Texas. And it goes underneath, and it's going to attach to the back and the inside of the mandible. So, just start with that. We could do like a little smear if we want to do that. However you want to make this look nice is up to you. So if we look at it on the skull, before we do this here, we're going to just also put this same muscle here on the side here. And what you'll see is it goes and tucks underneath the bridge of the zygomatic arch. And we may, it might be easier to put that underneath there. So if you look at it here, there is a hole right here. And that hole is created by the bridge of the zygomatic arch. And the muscle goes all along the side of the temporalis, and it goes through this hole underneath the mandible here. And it actually connects, if you see, it connects back here. And you can see even on these little excuse me a second. And you can see on these, even if I flip that out, there's a little connection point right in here. So the muscle will attach to the back end of the mandible. And what that will do is then when I have this set up, when this muscle activates, and it's all along this point and activates, blood goes to the muscle, it tightens up, it's pulling on the back of this, and it's making this open up, right? So that is your extensor. That's what happens when you open your mouth. This activates, this pulls, and then it opens up. So that's called your temporalis. So your temporalis is going to be one of the main muscles we're going to look at today. Your extensor that opens your mouth. And then the other muscle we're going to look at is called your flexor, which is a flexor, is called your masseter. So the masseter attaches all along the side of Texas here, and then it goes back like this, covers everything over. So this is kind of the muscular aspect of your cheek here. Smooth it out a little bit, however you want to do it. You know, you could do this, have it kind of look like it's got like some tendons if you want. And we'll put that on the side as well. And then right there. Okay, so that is our masseter, which again is being drawn with the pink. Therefore, it is a flexor. All right. So those two muscles are very important because the masseter, well, which is right here, moves your jaw around, and then your extensor, your temporalis, opens your mouth out. So if we look here and we look at the front of the face, we're going to also draw in the frontalis, which is this muscle that will open up the eye, so it's going to be an extensor. And that just kind of sits on top here. Now, a lot of the muscles, of the face are pretty long sheets that have like a lot of ability to kind of just move very slightly. So it starts to become how we define the actual face, and we don't think about it as much as like a muscle when we're drawing it, because it's kind of a combination of what you're seeing there and then also what you have there regarding your skin and the skin thickness of your model and whatever that might be. Similar situation with the mouth, This mouth muscle kind of goes right around like that. You've got some different muscles there. You've got muscles that actually thread over top and then come back in to kind of connect. So, there's a lot of different aspects that you're going to see on your model, but you're not necessarily going to immediately say, oh, well, that's that muscle. It's going to read more as a combination of the muscle and the skin on top. So the main muscles we really want to look at the face are the temporalis and the masseter. So then what we're also going to look at is we have muscles that are flexors that bring your head down. Those muscles are actually connected. We'll look at the side view here. They're connected right here, and they are connected to the masseter. Not the masseter, they're connected to the mastoid process on the back here. And then, let's get this a little darker. They're connected to the mastoid process in the back here. And then it kind of goes out and attaches down here from the front view to the sternum. And this is why it's very important to learn the names of the bones, because this particular muscle is connecting here, and then it's also connecting right in here to the clavicle. So the name of the muscle is actually called the sternocleidomastoid. So it's sternum, clavicle, mastoid right here. So sternocleidomastoid. So it is good to learn the name of the bones, because then therefore when you see a long name like that for a muscle, it becomes easy to acknowledge what that muscle is, where it is on the body, and what it actually does. So we've got that there, and that attaches all along the back, kind of behind the ear on that mastoid process, which is a bony landmark on the back of the head. And then lastly, the other muscle we're going to talk about before we wrap this one today is going to be an extensor. So, I messed up my colors, folks. All right, so this is actually, sorry about that. So this right here would be the flexor. So we'll just change that real quick. Easy enough. So that is a flexor. And then just like our masseter right here. And then the extensor is going to be the trapezius, which is going to be on the back here. So the trapezius is connecting to the back of the head. We'll make this a little darker just to make it easier to tell here. And it's going to attach all on the top here. You're going to see it from the front a little bit, and it's going to attach down here and kind of define the shoulders. And it's going to attach from the back of the head back in here, and it's going to attach to the scapula, which the scapula is this, your actual shoulder blade, which kind of comes around to the front. So it's going to go down like that and then attach to the back there. And we'll erase this. So these are muscles that are going to be very important when we talk about the back later on. But today, they do impact the head, so we are going to include them in this lesson and kind of give a little form to the body. These muscles can be built up pretty large, these neck muscles, but they also are very flat. If you look at the back, they appear as a diamond. So that's going to be it for us today on these muscles. Tune in next class. We're going to really focus in on just the individual features of the face. We're going to talk about the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. Again, my name is Thomas Carlson. Thanks for joining me here at Jersey City Art School. We're going to have more classes for you coming up. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Please like. Please send this and share it to whomever. It really does help. And any comments or videos that you want to see in the future, please go and check it out. If you want to check out our webpage, jcartschool.com, we're right there online. Thank you so much for joining us.